create the user, we need to go search for AWS Management Console. Okay. Once it is open, go to AWS console. Okay. Since I already logged in, I already have my account, so that's why I'm able to directly log in. Otherwise, you need to enter your credentials and log in to your AWS account. Okay. Here, search for IAM. Okay. And go to users. So right now I don't have any users. IAM is Identity and Access Management in AWS. Okay. To use any service, okay, within the AWS, out of right now, if you see, these are the services that we have in AWS, right? Okay. To access any of these service, you need permissions. Okay. Which is also called as policies. Okay. For that reason, to manage this access to all these services, AWS has a feature called IAM. This IAM is where we create the users or user groups or specific roles and policies. Okay, all these things that we create here. Okay, so we need to set up a user. Once you are here, go to users. I don't have any users right now. I'm creating a user. Okay, I'll call this user as serverless. I'll attach the policies. I'll attach direct admin so that it will have access to every AWS service. Okay. So for that reason, I'm directly giving admin access to this and click next and create the user. Okay, now the user is created. Okay, right now let's click this user within the security credentials. Okay, here we need to create a access key and secret key so that we can use those credentials in our local to deploy the serverless application into AWS. Okay, for that we should click create access key. I'll select the local code. Okay, this is I'm going to use it to run the Lambda from my local and deploy. Okay, now I created the access key and secret key. Okay, we need to copy this access key and the secret key. Okay, let me copy this and go to the terminal. Okay, you can open any folder. Okay, no need to worry. Now what we need to do is to set up the credentials here. Okay, we need to run serverless config. Okay, credentials. So serverless config credentials and the provider. Provider would be AWS. Okay, and the key. So you can copy and paste the key here. Okay, and after that you can say the secret. Okay, you can paste the secret here. Okay, once you paste the secret, click enter. So since we set the AWS credentials, okay, now we can run serverless deploy to deploy this particular application to AWS. Okay, so it will create the CloudFormation template out of the serverless.yaml file. Now if you see, there are two functions that are created. Okay, how it is created? It took the service name, then appended the environment. Since we didn't give any environment, that's why I took by default dev. Okay, and the function name. So this is the service name and the environment and the function name. Okay, now if you see the service name, this one, then the environment, then the function name, this one. Okay, let's go to AWS and check. Now we are in AWS. Okay, let's search for Lambda. Okay, now if you see, these are the 2 Lambdas that are deployed 1 minute back. Okay, now let's click this to test these Lambdas, not only from the console. Okay, we can even test from here. Go to test here. Okay, this is the input data. Right now we are not giving any input data. Right now it is not taking any input. Okay, if you want to pass any input data, it will come as part of the event. Right now, since we are not passing anything, okay, we no need to worry. Or if you want, you can say, just for testing purpose, I'm just showing. Okay, can save it and give some name and save it. Okay, when you click test, it will execute the function and you can see the response here. Okay, now if you see whatever is the input that I passed, it is printed here. Okay, so this is how you can create the Lambda with serverless and deploy to AWS by creating AWS IAM role. Okay, IAM user, and how to, you noticed how to set up the credentials in our local to deploy. Okay, and we deployed it and we tested it and it is working fine. Okay,